There's a moment many women recognize instantly, even if they've never put it into words. Tasks that once felt simple now feel heavier. Decisions take longer. Conversations require more effort. Even small responsibilities can feel overwhelming. It's not that life suddenly became harder, it's that your energy quietly changed. When energy is low, everything seems to demand more from you. Getting through the day feels like pushing against resistance you can't quite explain. You may wake up already feeling behind even before anything has happened. And as the day goes on, that sense of effort builds, layer by layer. What makes this especially frustrating is that from the outside you may look fine. You're still showing up, still handling what needs to be done, still being reliable. But inside it feels different. There's a constant sense of depletion, as if you're running on something that never fully refills. Low energy doesn't always feel like exhaustion. Sometimes it feels like heaviness. Sometimes it feels like mental resistance. Other times, it shows up as irritability or lack of patience. Things that wouldn't normally bother you suddenly feel harder to tolerate. And that can be confusing, especially if you can't point to a clear reason. Many women blame themselves for this. They assume they're not managing their time well enough, not resting enough, or not trying hard enough. But energy isn't just about effort. It's about how supported your body and mind feel on a deeper level. When energy drops, the brain works harder to do the same things. Focus becomes more difficult to sustain. Motivation feels inconsistent. And because everything takes more effort, even positive activities can start to feel draining. This creates a cycle where low energy leads to more strain, and more strain further reduces energy. What's important to understand is that this isn't a personal weakness. It's a signal that your system is undersupported in some way. And when that support is missing, life naturally feels heavier. Recognizing this is the first step toward change. Not by pushing harder, but by understanding why everything feels harder in the first place. Because when energy is restored, life doesn't necessarily become easier, but it becomes lighter. And that difference matters more than most people realize. One of the most confusing parts about low energy is that it doesn't always improve with rest. You might sleep enough, take breaks, or slow your pace and still wake up feeling like your battery never fully charged. That's often when women start to wonder if something deeper is going on. Energy isn't created by sleep alone. Sleep helps, but true energy comes from how well your body restores itself at multiple levels. When that restoration process is off, rest becomes shallow. You pause, but you don't recover. Over time, this creates a quiet imbalance. Your body continues to meet daily demands, but it does so by borrowing from reserves rather than replenishing them. This is why you can feel functional yet fragile, capable yet easily drained. Mental energy is often the first to suffer. Concentration feels shorter. Simple decisions feel heavier. Multitasking becomes overwhelming even if it used to feel natural. And because mental effort increases when energy is low, emotional resilience often drops as well. Patience thins. Small frustrations feel bigger than they should. This isn't a failure of discipline or mindset. It's biology responding to prolonged demand without adequate internal support. As the body shifts through different phases of life, the systems responsible for energy production, hormonal balance, and recovery can change in subtle but impactful ways. When those systems fall out of sync, the body becomes less efficient at producing the kind of steady energy that makes life feel manageable. Instead of a smooth flow, energy comes in short bursts, followed by dips that leave you feeling flat or depleted. Many women try to compensate with stimulation. More coffee, more sugar, pushing through fatigue with willpower. While this can create temporary lift, it often deepens the crash later. Stimulation borrows energy. It doesn't restore it. The result is a cycle that feels impossible to break. You push because you have to. You crash because your body can't keep up. And because this pattern develops gradually, it can feel like this is just how life is now. But it doesn't have to be. Understanding that low energy is not a character flaw, but a physiological signal, changes the way you approach it. Instead of asking how to push harder, the question becomes, what does my body need to feel supported again? When that question shifts, everything else begins to shift with it. When energy stays low for long periods, it's common to search for quick fixes. Many women try to reorganize their routines, wake up earlier, push productivity, or cut out rest entirely in an effort to get back on track. While these strategies may seem logical, they often make the problem worse. One of the biggest mistakes is treating low energy as a motivation issue. When you assume the problem is mindset, you end up fighting your own body. You push through fatigue, ignore signals of depletion, and normalize feeling drained as part of everyday life. Over time, this disconnect deepens the imbalance that caused the low energy in the first place. Another common error is relying on external stimulants to compensate for internal exhaustion. Caffeine, sugar, and constant mental stimulation can create brief moments of alertness, but they don't address the underlying issue. In fact, they often increase stress on the nervous system, making recovery even harder. What truly supports energy works in the opposite direction. It focuses on stability rather than stimulation. This means helping the body regulate stress, improve cellular recovery, and support the systems responsible for producing sustainable energy throughout the day. Small shifts can make a noticeable difference. Gentle movement instead of intense exertion. Consistent sleep rhythms rather than chasing more hours. Allowing moments of mental quiet instead of filling every pause with activity. These changes don't force energy, they allow it to rebuild. Nutrition also plays a role, not in extreme ways, but in providing the body with what it needs to function efficiently. When key nutrients are missing or poorly absorbed, energy production naturally declines. This doesn't always show up as illness, but as a gradual sense of fatigue that becomes easy to dismiss. Some women begin to explore natural support options that work alongside the body rather than against it. Not as instant solutions, but as part of a broader approach to restoring balance. When used thoughtfully, these supports can help reinforce the systems that energy depends on. The key is patience. Rebuilding energy isn't about dramatic changes. It's about consistency and listening to what your body has been signaling all along. When energy begins to return, it doesn't arrive as a sudden surge. It shows up quietly, in clearer thinking, steadier moods, and a sense that daily life no longer feels so heavy. And when that happens, everything doesn't just feel easier. It feels possible again. As energy slowly begins to rebuild, many women notice something important. Life doesn't suddenly change, but their relationship with it does. Tasks feel more manageable. Thoughts feel less scattered. There's a quiet sense of stability that wasn't there before. And that's often when they realize how long they've been operating below their natural baseline. Supporting energy is rarely about doing more. It's about removing what drains you and reinforcing what sustains you. This includes stress management, sleep quality, emotional boundaries, and giving the body what it needs to function efficiently. When these pieces start to align, energy stops feeling like something you're constantly chasing. Some women choose to explore additional forms of support as part of this process. Not as a replacement for healthy habits, but as a complement. Natural formulations designed to support balance, recovery, and mental clarity are often used by those who want to work with their body instead of pushing against it. When chosen carefully, these options can help reinforce systems that have been under strain for a long time. What matters most is intention. Listening to your body, paying attention to patterns, noticing when energy dips and what helps it return. This awareness alone can shift how you move through your day. Instead of forcing yourself through exhaustion, you begin responding with care and curiosity. It's also important to remember that you're not the only one navigating this. Many women experience this quiet drain on energy but don't talk about it openly. Sharing experiences, learning from one another, and realizing this isn't a personal failure can be incredibly relieving. If this conversation resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can share your experience or reflections in the comments. Sometimes just putting it into words makes a difference. And if you find these discussions helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. We explore these topics regularly, always with the goal of understanding the body better and supporting it more gently. I've also left some additional information in the pinned comment for anyone who wants to explore this topic a bit further at their own pace. No pressure, just resources for those who feel ready to learn more. Low energy doesn't define you. It's a message. And when you start listening, life doesn't necessarily become easier, but it becomes lighter. And that can change everything.